Today on this episode of Lean, Healthy, Ageless, we've got a tasty morsel for you. It can be a side dish. It could be an appetizer, an hors d'oeuvre, something you can take, a little healthy morsel when you go to someone's house. It is broccoli bites.
Hi, Robin and Dana here, the authors of the Eat, Live, Thrive Diet. And if you're a woman 45 plus and you're looking to experience your best health, your best vitality, and your best body no matter what your age, you are in the right place.
Well, I'm excited, Robin, because I love how we can make veggies with all the fiber and phytonutrients and all that good stuff taste like a decadent treat. And these are going to be awesome.
Well, you know, cauliflower is like the big trend. There's cauliflower pizza, cauliflower crackers, cauliflower tortillas, everything cauliflower. But little old broccoli here is actually healthy. It's neglected, and it's so healthy, and it's just a great alternative. And I love this dish, and it's super simple. All we did was steam some broccoli head florets to soft. You want to make them really soft. And then you're just going to chop it all up. And you want to pack it down to about 2 cups, but make sure it's pretty well packed and it's very well drained. So that's what we're starting with. And we're going to take this and just add it to the bowl.
In the bowl. Okay.
Yeah.
And the next ingredient will be?
The next ingredient are 2 eggs that have been beaten up.
Okay.
We beat them up.
We beat those eggs up. My girls donated those eggs from all my little chickens that are organically fed. So
okay, so we're just going to mix that up. And while we're doing that, we chopped 2 shallots. And I want to talk about these shallots.
Oh, this was fun. Robin was crying her eyes out.
I had my mascara running down so strong. So when I was chopping them, finely chopped, I was crying so bad. Deanna said, put a piece of bread in your mouth. So I literally sat there.
And it stopped.
It stopped. It took the fumes up and absorbed it. Okay, throw the shallots in.
Shallots are in.
And we've got 2 shallots in there chopped finely. Then we've got 2 chopped cloves of garlic that we're adding. And then we've got the cheese. Now, this recipe calls for 3/4 cup of shredded cheese, any kind. But we chose more flavorful kinds. You could use mozzarella, but it's kind of mild and bland.
So what did we use?
We used a cheddar and a manchego. And I just use whatever I have on hand. So now let's talk about what is going to bind these little broccoli bites. Dana is holding, it looks like breadcrumbs, right? We don't do breadcrumbs because we don't do wheat. Guess what this is?
Hold it up.
Pork rinds.
And people think, pork rinds are so unhealthy.
Right, but you know what? These have like 5 grams of fat per serving and mostly protein. What's that protein on there? I can't read it.
The protein is 7 grams.
So it's high in protein, low carb, and not too high in fat.
So
1 cup. 1 cup. And let me tell you how I made those. I just stuck a bunch of the whole pork rinds in a Ziploc bag, put it down, started mashing it down. Then I took my rolling pin and just smashed them all up until they were finely crunched. Then a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. And we're just going to mix all that up. I preheated the oven to 400 degrees.
Okay.
I'm trying to stir this so that it doesn't get all over Dana's counters. So you can mix this up really well with a fork, but I actually like to just get in there with my hands.
You just like to
and squish it all together so that I'm getting everything mixed in really well. It's kind of cushy between my fingers.
It gets really congealed when you do that.
It's like making a meatloaf. When you make a meatloaf, you need to touch it and just kind of mush it all together. So you're going to get your hands dirty for this.
So now we have a tablespoon, and we're just going to squish it in and with a little rounded top.
Yeah.
And then plop it on a cookie sheet with parchment.
Once all of your bites are on the tray, you're going to spray them with either some avocado oil or some olive oil and simply do a quick spray of them.
Why?
Because that is what's going to help make them golden brown when you cook them in your oven, 400 degrees, about 20 minutes. Remember, everybody's oven is a little bit different, so watch them and you can see when they're getting golden brown. That's when you're going to take them out. If you want to save time and don't feel like making all of those little balls, then here's a time-saving option. This might be something you would want to do if you're just making it home for a dinner side dish. Dana's taking a big glob of the mixture, and she's just going to flatten it out on a cookie sheet. Actually, while she's doing that, I'll just start flattening it.
We just add to it. I'm just getting all the leftover crumbs.
We're just going to flatten it out into just a brick, I would say, but pretty flat.
And then you're going to make sure it's all the same.
All the same consistency as far as evenness and fatness.
Yeah.
And
make it a little square.
Make a little square. We're going to cook it, and then we'll slice it up with like a pizza cutter.
So we've got the cute little balls that I think are perfect if you're doing an appetizer or hors d'oeuvre. You can stick a little toothpick in it. The little squares makes about how many?
Well, the balls, if you're going to make the whole batch in balls, it's going to make between 15 to 18 of those. And then these, I think we cut into like 20 little squares. But again, you probably wouldn't serve this as a appetizer like at a cocktail party, but just as a side dish. She's going to eat a ball.
I've never tried them.
I'm going to eat a little square.
But what a fun way to eat broccoli.
Definitely. Instead of like a tater tot.